Since the release of the structure deck, Fire Kings have turned up the heat everywhere it has gone, and with the ban list changing and the new support coming out, it'll ignite the competition with fiery strategies. In this scorching deck profile, we'll heat things up pre and post Phantom Nightmare, so stay tuned for a deck that's truly on fire. What's up guys, and welcome back to Main Phase TV. So I'm going to be showing you my first place deck profile that I used in the most recent Locals Experience video. Be sure to check that out for gameplays and interactions. I'm also going to be showing you changes that I would make post Phantom Nightmare, so that way you have a little something to go off of. Now, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it with the main engine. We're going to start with 3 Ponics. Ponics are your starters. You normal summon or special summon, and on summon, you're going to add a Fire King spell or trap. Typically, you add the continuous spell with this, but if you already have the Sanctuary or the Island, you might as well just add the Skyburn or the Circle. Next, we're gonna use 3 Arvada. Arvada is your monster negate. Fun fact, it negates the activation. So if anything happens within the damage step, you can negate it with the Arvada when it comes to monster effects. Also, there's a fun interaction with Arvada and the Kirin, and I believe I go over it in my Locals Experience video, so be sure to check that out. Next, we have 3 Kirin, which is the Fire King Sharvara. It's a quick effect during your main phase. You pop 1 fire monster in hand or field, and then summon itself out. It also has a secondary effect to where if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can non-target summon 1 from your grave or hand, and then non-target pop 1 card in the field. Next, we are running 2 Garunics. 2 Garunics I think is actually great now and post Phantom Nightmare, because I feel like people might run DD Crows, honestly. And if they get rid of 1, at least you have 1 that just keeps coming back. Either way, 2 is the safety net. 3 is overkill and it can become bricky, but 2 was my sweet spot as of right now, and I think moving forward, I'm actually gonna keep it at 2. Next, we are running 1 Barong. Barong actually might come out next format. This plays into Thrust, and Thrust with Soul Release and all the new like Snatch Steals and whatnot, it definitely plays into it. So game 1, if you go first, cool, you can have it, and then side it out game 2 and 3. Now for the consistency, I don't run Wanteds. I actually run 3 Fenrir and 1 Rice Heart. This is your quick way to search a fire monster. Fun fact, sometimes I would actually normal summon Rice Heart, crash itself if I have Garunix in hand, and during the damage step, Garunix effect will trigger, along with Kirin and so on and so forth. And it actually comes up because a lot of people are running Fenrir, and he cannot activate its effect to banish 1 if it was on the damage step, which that was. So with that being said, being that I don't have Wanted, this is a good budget option for those who don't want to spend $300–400 for a play set of cards. Also, I don't think next year we're actually gonna need the Wanteds. I think it's more for Rescue Ace, and that was just something we adapted to it. But with all the new stuff that we're getting on the next set, I honestly think we're really not gonna use it. And I'll show you afterwards what changes I'll make with the new cards. Next, with the hand traps, I ran 3 Ash, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Droll, and 3 Imperm. Now with the hand traps that I chose, 9 times out of 10, Droll honestly was in a iffy spot. Some people weren't playing into it, some people were. You have Centurion that doesn't really play into it because they searched the 1. Effect Veiler does hit Centurion if, you know, they normal summon their 1 to search. Other than that, these are all very generic. There was Vanadium kind of going up at locals, so this definitely helped out. On to more consistency cards. It was 3 Pot of Prosperities, 2 Talents. I understand they do conflict. However, sometimes when you have one or the other, if they ash the Ponics or the field spell and you have Tactics in hand, by all means, great. If you have both and you did Prosperity and they drolled you, then you can just rip 1 and gain the knowledge that you need from looking at their hand after ripping 1. 2, honestly, 2 Talents has been a-okay. I've only seen it a few times, so it doesn't come up often. I've seen Prosperity way more than I have seen Talents. But without Wanted and the consistency of Wanteds, these definitely help out a lot. I also run one called by, just a Saki one of. I don't think it should be banned. I think it should come back to 3, but if it came back to 3, it definitely would be broken. Now, for the last spells, we run one Skyburn, one Circle, 2 Islands, and 2 Sanctuary. Now, the Skyburn does help avoid hand traps that target or monsters that do target your monster to negates. The Circle of the Fire Kings comes up with OT Kane, but I don't think we're going to need Circle next format or next year, only because there's going to be new lines, including Xantis and the new Link 3, I believe it is, that's coming out. So I don't think Circle will be a necessary card. I do believe Skyburn will be for sure. As far as the Island and the Sanctuary definitely 2 of, and the Island 2 of. There'll be times where I've had people banish 1 off a Cosmic Cyclone, and I needed 1 more to help the search and engine going, and the Sanctuary was already in hand. Now, before we get into the extra deck part of the deck profile, please feel free to like, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I truly appreciate every single one of y'all. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now for the Link ones, we are running 1 Linkuriboh, 1 Anima, and 1 Almirage. I know that's a lot of Link ones. Almirage is cuttable for sure. The Anima came up way more than the Almirage did. The Linkuriboh is actually needed now and will be needed next year when the support comes out, because there is definitely some plays that help with it. Now for the Link 2s, we are running Sunlight Wolf and Little Knight. I know Little Knight really isn't budget friendly. However, 80 bucks, 100 bucks is still way cheaper than the $300-400 that the Wanted package is. I honestly would rather just spend the money on the Little Knight over the packages, because Fenrir's are fairly affordable. And then we do have 1 Heat Soul to go into the Heat Soul line. I don't think I went into Heat Soul. However, there are some times where it comes up, because then with the Sunlight Wolf, you'll add Kieran, and then Heat Soul, you can gain 2 cards, 1 on your turn and 1 on your opponent's draw phase turn. It honestly does help out, but it can play into Nib. Then we have the Hida, the Dark, which does go into the Celine play, followed by the Access Code. This is definitely when you're going for the kill. I never went into it. I almost didn't go into it. At least I don't think so. Honestly, it is there for backup. But with the new cards, like I said, I don't think we're going to need it at all anymore. For the Xyz, we are running a Garunix Eternity and Typhon. The Garunix Eternity almost never comes up. However, it is useful and it comes in clutch when it comes to back row removal. I did go into, I think, once or twice in the video, and honestly, I wouldn't bump it up. I think 1 is perfectly fine. Now for the last parts of the extra deck, I'm running the Equist, the Garura, and the Mud Dragon. So kind of a spoiler, we are running, these are super poly targets. So now for the side deck. We are running 1 Magnemite, 2 Druid Swarm. This is pre-ban list. However, this definitely is going to be coming out. As far as what I'll be citing, more than likely it'll be Lancias, but these came in clutch. Super Poly is the best card, in my opinion, in the side deck. They can't respond to it. You can let them pop off. Vanadium goes off and comes off if you don't see the draw, but if you see the Super Poly, they're really screwed and they can't really do anything. We're also running 3 DD Crow. This goes with the Bestials. It hits Pearly, it hits it can hit Labyrinth. Also, DD Crows do hit mirror matches. So if they have a Barong or a Ponix, you can literally hit the Barong in the draw phase with the DD Crow, and it won't get its effect to add 1 to the hand. Next, we're running 3 Cosmic Cyclones. The Cosmic Cyclones are for the mirror matches. They are for Centurion. They are for the anti-spell. They're honestly just really, really good for back row as well. And then last but not least, we have 3 Nibiru. Nibiru is for the combo decks. It was a main deck, but having it in the side deck does help out a lot. So I did say I was gonna show you what I would replace post Phantom Nightmare. So that being said, let me show you. Like I said in the deck profile, that this, and this more than likely won't be needed next. So I'm gonna replace the Fenrir and the Rice Heart with 3 Bonfire for sure. So the Bonfire can actually search out Populous and Snake Eye Ash. 9 times out of 10, more than likely, I'm sure you'll be searching out Populous because there's a 1-card combo with Populous and Bonfire that absolutely ends with an amazing board. Next, I'm gonna replace the Pot of Prosperity and the Circle of Fire Kings with 2 Populous, 2 Ash, and Flamberge Dragon. Now, Snake Eye Ash, for obvious reasons, this searches out your Ponix, and then Ponix ends up full combo. Populous leads to Ash, which leads to Ponix. And then for the last card, I might take out the Called by the Grave and put in the original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. This card is searchable, so you really only need 1. Now, you're more than welcome to run the Wanted if you got the money for it, if you're balling like that. However, I'm trying to lean towards more of the budget-friendly option, but we still don't know the rarities of the Populous and the Bonfire. So hopefully Bonfire is maybe an ultra rare and Populous is a common or a super rare. Until then, we'll see. I'm still experimenting with some of the combos, and if you want, I can post that in a separate video to show y'all physical combos with the actual cards or with proxies. That way you can have something that you can lean on to learn the combos. And like I said, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, so I will probably misplay as well, but I'll definitely do my best to learn all the combos as much as possible, and I'll be experimenting because we have a whole month until the cards come out. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this deck profile and a little bit of insight on what I'm thinking for the next format and with the new set release in February. And I will definitely be doing an opening for y'all. Thank you so much. Peace.